In the last class, we have discussed about this topic, that ADO.NET registration form, CRUD operations and everything. Today we'll discuss about the other modules like state, city and location. So I want to use code first approach. So we already discussed about entity framework. Entity framework is a ORM framework. Here we have one database table with name EMP with column C number, E name as well as salary. Let us assume here. Here Anil, here 20,000, here 102, here I'll try to give Sunil, here I'll give 30,000. This is my database table. Zip to the data is stored in the form of table, and here entity framework will try to interact with what? Database server. It will convert the table into class. It will convert the table into class, column into property, column into property, row into object, row into object. So your table is EMP now, it will convert into entity class, class EMP, and here column will convert into property, public int E number. Here I will write set as well as get, set and get, and here I will try to declare public string ename. Here also I will write set as well as get, and here I will try to declare public double salary. Here I will write set as well as get. These are our properties. This is your entity class. You can simply call it this only. You can consider as your model class, entity class. And here your DB context class is available. DB context class. It consists of some ready-made methods like add method, similarly remove method. Is it clear? Similarly find method, similarly toList method, similarly save changes method. These all are ready-made methods that are available. DB context class. And here you have your DB set. DB set is nothing but collection. Your row is converted into object. Multiple rows is converted into multiple objects. This group of objects is your collection. So whenever you work with entity framework, three types of approaches are there. First one is database first approach. In database first approach, you need to create the database tables. Based on your database tables, entity framework will automatically generate the entity class, DB context class, DB set. That is database first approach. Next one is code first approach. In code first approach, you need to create what? Manual everything like entity class, DB context class, DB set we need to manually create. In model first approach, you need to create the model class. Based on model class, remaining setup will be ready. These are the manual operations you have to do when you work with entity framework. Code first approach, database first approach and model first approach. So let us see how to work with this code first approach. In code first approach, you don't need to create the database tables. Tables will be automatically created. Based on your tables, your classes will be generated. So here you can see this is your project RMS, and this is your data access layer. This is your service layer. If you want, you can directly add the entity framework in your RMS project. Directly we can do with RMS initially. So here you can see I'll try to create one folder. Right click on the project, add new folder. Initially I'll try to do in a presentation layer only, models. Is it clear? And here right click on models. Now I need to write the classes related to my requirement. So state, city, location I want to create actually. Okay na? So right click on models, add class. Select the class. The name of the class I'll give as state, state.cs. Is it clear? I'll declare one class with name what? State. Name I'll give as state.cs. And here I'll try to declare some properties. Public int id, and declare one more property. Public string state id. And here declare one more property. Public string state name. So if you want to apply now in code first approach, we need to create the classes properly. Based on our classes, what will happen? Automatically, this one is generated. What is generated? Based on your property, table will be generated based on your model class. So you have to decorate this class in a proper manner using system.data annotations.component model. What happened? What's the problem? Is it clear? Code, now we are doing with code first approach initially. In code first approach, you need to create the entity classes, model classes perfectly. Based on your model classes, database tables will be automatically generated. But whenever you want to work with entity framework, you have to install the entity framework from NuGet package manager. NuGet package manager is a package, means it is a file actually. All the open source companies, developers will release their softwares in the form of packages. These all packages are available in the NuGet package manager. Just click on manage NuGet packages for solution. Here you can select all. Internet is required actually. Now I am trying to install the entity framework. In order to work with the project, we need to work with entity framework. Is it clear, everyone? So first I need to install the entity framework. It will take some time. Yes. Here you can select entity framework. Entity framework, click on install. Means you are downloading and attaching to your project. Click on OK. I accept. So it is installed. Version is 6.4.4 version. I'm installing latest version. Click on close. Here build the solution. Now I want to declare the namespace using system.componentModel.data annotations and using system.componentModel.data annotations.schema. Two namespaces I will declare. And here I'll decorate this class with table attribute. And I'll give the name of the class as state. And here I'll try to decorate this property with database generated of database generation option dot identity. And here I'll decorate this state ID as key, primary key. My class is ready. Try to create all the classes depending on your requirement. Right click on models, add class. Here I'll try to create one more model class, city. I will try to create city.cs. And here also I'll declare the namespace using system.componentModel.data annotations. Here also using system.componentModel.data annotations.schema. Here I'll try to declare the class, decorate the class with table. The name of the class I'll give as city. Here also I'll try to declare some property, public int id. And here I'll try to declare public string city id. So here if you want to apply primary key in database, here only you have to apply public string something like city name. And here I'll try to decorate this one with database generated of database generation option dot identity. Here also decorate this property city id with key, primary key. Is it clear? So try to create the individual tables. Similarly, right click on models, add class. The name of the class I'll give as location. The name of the class I'll give as location. Location.cs. Click on add button. And here also declare the namespace using system.componentModel.data annotations. Using system.componentModel.data annotations.schema. Here decorate this class with table. Table of the name of the table I'll give as location. And here I'll declare the properties. Public int id. Here I'll try to give database generated of database generated option dot identity. And here I declare one more property. Public string location id. And here I'll try to decorate this property with key attribute. And here declare one more property. Public string location name. Is it clear? Similarly, like three individual classes are there. Similarly, right click on models, add class. I'll take one more class, restaurant. This is all I am doing with database code first approach. Restaurant.cs. Here also declare the namespace using system.componentModel.data annotations. Using system.componentModel.data annotations.schema. Here I'll decorate this class with table. Table of. Here I'll try to give the name as restaurant. Means your table name. We are telling that please create one table with name restaurant based on this class name. Here declare the property public int id. Here you can write something like database generated of database generated option dot identity. And here declare the properties. Public string, here I'll try to give restaurant id. and here I'll decorate this property with key attribute, and here I'll try to give something like public string. Here I'll try to give restaurant name, and here I'll try to give one more property, public string public into long public long phone number. I will try to give restaurant phone number, and here I'll try to give public string email ID, restaurant email ID, something like this. This is your primary key, this is your identity. So all these four classes are ready. Initially I will deal with these four classes, but if you observe clearly, there is a good relation between these classes. In database point of view, foreign key relation is there. Here you have state table having state ID and state name, and here you have city table having city ID and city name. You have location table having location ID and location name, having location ID and location name. Now there is a relation is that this is your state, this is your state, and here you have what, city, here you have city, and here you have what, location. Three tables are there, location. Okay, now here you have relation is there. One state can have many cities, so here the relation is one to many. State can have many cities. Here one state can have many cities, something like this, one to many relation. One city can have many locations. One city can have many locations. Here also one to many relation. One city can have many locations. Is it clear? So here one is parent table, primary key, and child table is foreign key. And here one city can have many locations. Means in city table you have to create a separate column with name state ID. And in location table you have to create a separate column with name city ID. But if you want to achieve foreign key relation between the tables, is it clear? Is it clear? So one state can have many cities, one cities can have many locations. So state table, state ID is primary key. City table, state ID is primary key. In city table, state ID is foreign key. City table, city ID is primary key. In location table, city ID is foreign key. If you want to establish this relation, you have to use has a relation. Object to object relation is has a relation. Class to class relation is a relation. These all are individual classes. One is state, other one is city, another one is location, another one is restaurant. Now, if you want to establish the relationship, and here one more class is required to monitor, that is DB context class. So right click on models, add class. The name of the class I'll try to give as DB context. Here I'll try to give the name. The name of the class I'll try to give as DB context. Something like demo DB context class. Otherwise you can go RMS DB context .cs. DB context is a class. Here you declare one namespace using system.data.entity, and here you can declare one constructor. Is it clear? Any class that is inheriting from DB context, that is called as DB context class. It will act like mediator, bridge between DB set and database. This is your collection. Your DB set is nothing but what? Collection. Collection is nothing but group of what? Objects. This is your DB set. This is your DB set. Your DB set is nothing but what? Collection. And this is your database table. This is your database table. And in middle you have DB context class. DB context class. It will act like a mediator between DB set and database table. So if you do any modification DB set, this modification will automatically update to the database table. This modification will automatically update to the database table. Are you following? So it will act like mediator. So here actually in OOPS actually if you already know there is one class called A. In this class if I declare one parameterized constructor int x, and here I'll try to declare one more class called B extends A, and here I'll try to declare one default constructor B of. Is it clear? Public is there, just I'm showing you. Now here if I create an object for B, how to create new B of? Here you will get an error actually, because constructors will never participate in inheritance. Here if you want to invoke the superclass parameterized constructor, writing base of is mandatory. So here you can write base of some 10. So here how this code will execute? First of all, this default constructor is invoked, not executed. Searching for superclass parameterized constructor, executed, and then default constructor will execute. So always constructors will call from bottom to top and execute from top to bottom. So here also there is one predefined class actually. Here there is one predefined class called DB context class, and this class consists of one default constructor, that is something like DB context. Okay na? Sorry, parameterized constructor is there in this class. Okay, and here I'll try to declare one more class, that is class RMS DB context. RMS DB context, inheriting from DB context. And here I'll try to declare one parameter default constructor within this class. RMS DB context, and here it is inheriting from superclass parameterized constructor base of. So it is mandatory. Actually here you have to give the connection string. So here first of all what I will do, go to your solution explorer, go to web.config file, and there you can declare the connection string in web.config file. Here already one connection string is there. If you want you can use this constr. Is it clear? Same connection string you can use. So here you can see already we declared this connection string, our database name, user ID, password, database and data source. If it is not available, you can create separately. And here I'll try to password constr. You can give base of name is equal to, you can give, here you can give name is equal to constr. Otherwise directly you can pass, no problem. Constr means DB context class consists of one parameterized constructor. We are passing what? Connection string object. And here I'll try to create one DB set. DB set is collection. Public DB set of, here I'll try to give models dot state. And here the collection name I will give as states. In entity framework, everything we have to create manually. Similarly, here I'll try to give cities. And here I'll try to give models dot city. And here I'll try to give one more public DB set of. Here I'll try to give models. Models dot location. Here I'll try to give locations. Here I'll try to give something like public DB set. Here I'll try to give restaurant. Here I'll try to give models.restaurant. I'll try to give models.restaurant. Here I'll try to give the name as restaurants. These all are collections. Manually we need to, first initially we create the model classes called as entity classes. Later we created one DB context class. That is your collection. So setup is ready. Now you must know how to use it. All are ready. Now relationships also required. Now if you want to establish the foreign key relationship between the classes state and city, some has a relationship is there. If you want to establish has a relation, see here we are creating the classes. Based on our classes, tables must be automatically generated. This is state, this is what? City. So one state can have many cities. So here one to many relation is there. One to many relation is there. One state can have many cities. One to many relation. Is it clear? So in this scenario what to do, one is parent table and many is child table. But if you want to establish the relation between the classes, you have to use has a relation. So create separate property in city. Here you declare one property public city, and here you can state, create a separate property with name state in city table, and common column is also existing. So public string, here I'll try to give state ID. Two things you have to do. One is common property. Common property must take primary key will become foreign key in the child table now. This state table, state ID is primary key, that will become foreign key in which table? City table. Is it clear? And this is has a relation also must be there. Similarly, in location table also you create the relation. Here also declared property, public string, city ID, and here also common property, public city, and here also I'll try to give city, something like this. So I establish the relations. Similarly, restaurant and location also having one relation, public string. Here I'll try to give common column, location ID, location ID. Here you have location table, you have location lock ID. Yes, lock ID is there, and here you have a property, public location, and here location certificate. These are the things, common things you have to establish the relation. State table, no foreign key. City table, if you, this is something like in city table, in database point of view, foreign key is generated. That is state ID. In location table, city ID, foreign key is generated. In restaurant table, here foreign key is generated, location ID, lock ID. So all the setup is ready. Build the solution. Okay. Now I want to consume this one. Go to Solution Explorer. Now your regular work. Go to your controllers. Right click, add controller. Here the name of the controller I will try to give as state. State controller. Click on add button. Here you can give index method is there. Okay. Here I want to generate the view. Right click on index, add view. Select template. Empty. Select model class, state. Select data context class, RMS DB context. Select admin layout.cshtml, click on add button. So here your layout is generated. So here if you want you can design the view, you at the rate using html.begin form. Here I'll try to go at the rate using html.begin form of. Here I'll try to give the action method name index, comma controller name state, comma form method dot post. Here I'll try to give form method dot post. Here I'll try to give at the rate html dot label of. At the rate html dot label of. Here I'll try to give enter state ID. Okay, and here I'll try to give at the rate html dot text box for of. Model is equal to greater than model dot state ID. Model dot state ID. Is it clear? This is your state table now. Copy this one, state ID. Model dot state ID. And here throw the cursor to the next line. And again here you can write something like enter state name. Here I'll try to give model dot state name. Is it clear? Model dot state name. So this is my property. Property is ready. I have written, and here I'll try to take one button. Input type is equal to submit. Value is equal to save. And throw the cursor to the next line. Here I'll try to take one HTML table. No need of ADO.NET code here. And here open tr tag. And here open td tag. And here I'll try to display state ID. And here I'll try to display state name. And here I'll try to display, that's it, these two are enough, state ID and state name. And here outside this tr, again I will try to open for each where item in collection. Temp data I will use, temp data of IE IE state as I enumerable of, here I'll try to give models dot state. Give the fully qualified name. RMS dot models dot state. RMS dot models dot state. Bracket open, bracket close. Here open TR tag. Here open TD tag. At the rate item dot state ID. And here you can open one more. At the rate item dot state name. These are the properties I'll discuss. Okay na? So my view is ready. Now here I will try to use that one using RMS dot models. Here I'll try to create an object. Models dot RMS DB context obj DB is equal to new. Actually, in order to use this entity framework setup and everything, we need to create an object for DB context class, because DB context only act like a mediator between the DB set and database tables, collection and database tables. So here what to do, call the object obj dot obj db dot, here I'll try to give states dot toList. ToList is a predefined method that is available in DB context class. If you want to read the data from the collection, use ToList method. And here the return type is IEnumerable. It is one type of collection. Super interface. IEnumerable is super interface for all the collections. IE. So what is the meaning of this? Already I created one DB set now. DB set is nothing but a collection. And whatever the data that is available in the database, that is stored in these collections. So we are fetching the data and displaying in the front end, and store this IE state. Store this IE in temp data. Temp data of IE state. I'll try to give here. Temp data of IE state is equal to IE. Okay, na? Is equal to IE. And keep the data. Temp data dot keep method. Are you following? So here you can see press F5. Check it out. Is it clear? Let us see here how to work with this. Now if you go to your database, initially tables are not available. Here you can see. There you can see initial, I will show you once. Database tables, here you can see Object Explorer. There you can see connect to the database engine. Password I will try to give ABC. Click on connect. Here you can see. Go to your databases. There you can see RMS 2020. There you can see tables. So right click, initially there are no tables, only two tables are there, EMP customer. There is no state, city, all these tables. But let us see here. I'll try to log in. Admin will log in with username and password. I'll try to log in with username is admin, password is admin. Click on sign in. So here click on state. Now it is going to the index method F11. Whenever the object is created for DB context class, then automatically here one error is coming, that connection string is not declared with provider name. So no problem. Go to web.config file. Here you can write something like provider. Provider name is equal to, here I'll try to go system dot data dot SQL client. This is your provider name. That is mandatory in your connection string. Rebuild. Now again you can press F5 and check the output. So this DB context class is only responsible to create the connection to the database server. Because at the time of creating object for this constructor, we passed what? The connection string name as input. Is it clear? Let us see here. Here let us see. Here login. Admin will log in with username is admin, password is admin. Click on sign in. Here you can see the state. Admin will add the state details. Now F11. Let us see here. Now it is working. Debugging. Connection is establishing to the database server. That is what it is happening here. Okay, fine. Now press F5 directly if you want. Now you can see the design. I think it will come. It has to come actually. State details. Enter state ID, state name. So whenever user now go to your database and check here. Now automatically tables are created. Right click on tables, refresh. Here you can see state table is created with column state ID, state name, and here city table is created with column city ID, city name, and state ID is foreign key. And again location table is created with columns location ID, location name, city ID is foreign key. And restaurant table is created with columns restaurant ID, restaurant name, phone number, email ID, location ID is foreign key. Why these all are created database means because we have designed the code in such a manner. Based on your code, automatically tables will be generated. Okay, now here what to do, let us see. So here I'll try to declare one more method. Is it clear? Here I'll decorate this method with HTTP post. And it will pass the input as models. Models dot state yes. So generally whenever user data binding is there, no? Whenever user enter the values in the text boxes, automatically that values are stored in this object. So add the object to the collection obj db dot states dot add of yes and save the changes obj db dot save changes. Is it clear? And again I want to redirect to action. So data binding is there. Whenever you enter the values in the text boxes, automatically that values are stored in this object. Add the object to the collection, save the changes. Here I can write return redirect to action of. I'll try to give the controller name state slash action method name index. Controller name slash action method name. Press F5. Check the output. Here you can see. Whenever you enter the values, whatever the values that are stored, that must be displayed in the front end. Admin and here also admin. Now click on sign in. Select state. And here you can give the state ID. I'll try to give state ID st underscore 1. State name I'll give Telangana. Click on save. Here I think here you have to give something like this index comma redirect to action of. State comma index I have to give here. Action method name and controller name I will try to give index. Is it clear? This is how you can work with state controller. Yeah, index comma state we have to give. The action method name comma controller name. Controller name is state. Press F5 and once check the output. This is the main difference between ADO.NET and Entity Framework. ADO.NET, everything we need to write the code manually. But in Entity Framework, ready-made collections will be there. We need to perform operations on collections. CRUD operations like insert, update, delete. All these operations you can perform on collections. Code first approach, when you generate the classes, based on your classes, database tables will be automatically generated. In which approach? Code first approach. Is it clear? Let us see here once. Login. Here admin will log in with username admin, password is also admin. Click on sign in. Select the state. Here you can use state ID. Here I'll try to give st_2 Andhra Pradesh. Click on save. st_3 Tamil Nadu. Click on save. Something like this. st_4 from Kerala or UP, Uttar Pradesh. Click on save. This is how you can perform CRUD operations on state with Entity Framework. I hope you understood. For more videos, try to subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Have a